And what a treat we have here with us. Welcome into halftime here at Charbo Pavilion. Bob Long, and alongside me, Cam Wiley, a two-time Centennial Conference Player of the Year and a former Swarthmore basketball legend. Well, a current legend. Legends never die, my friend. How good is it to be back in town?
It's awesome. Seeing all the family, parents, obviously the team, Coach Landry. It's been quite the experience here for the annual alumni basketball game, and of course, a great competition versus Franklin and Marshall.
How cool is it to be watching these guys? Obviously, a lot of these guys you've played with, most of the roster was able to return. Unfortunately, we couldn't get you back for a fifth year, but these guys that you played with so many years, the #1 team in the country, kind of carrying on the way you guys finished last year. What's that been like to watch from afar?
I would say I'm content with their success. They carry themselves to such a high standard, and that was never going to change no matter what the personnel is like. So seeing them compete every week, winning the games that they're winning, such a great start. I mean, it's unbelievable how well they've started, and just proud of them, really proud.
What does it mean to be an alumni of Swarthmore? And so you're doing full-time work now, out of the school. You're in Atlanta, but Swarthmore becoming more of a household name, a team that people will now see went to the national championship a few years ago. What's that like to say, hey, I was a former Swarthmore basketball player. I lived that life.
Yeah, I mean, we've created a community, a basketball community in a sense. Even in Atlanta, alumni have reached out to me about the team's success. People are tuning in to the basketball program and athletics in general at Swarthmore. And so I think it's a great time to be a Swatty. It's a great time to be an alum, and everyone's supportive.
Take us back, if you would, Cam, through some of the key games that you feel over your time here at Swarthmore kind of turned the tide towards what you see right now, a 20-0 team, #1 in the country, trying to compete, host another conference tournament, win another conference tournament, and make a deep run. What led us to this point for those that may not have seen those innermost details?
That's a great question. There's one game that comes to mind my sophomore year, well, even before that. My freshman year at the conference championship game, we were competing against Franklin and Marshall, the component today. We were down 26 points at the halftime and ended up fighting back and losing the game by, I think, about 3 points. Shout out to Shane Leffler. Had a great game there. But, we kind of carried that momentum into my sophomore season, knowing that we could be a potential champion. There's so many games. Another game against Dickinson in this building. Shout out to Zach Yonda and Matt Brennan. Just different games where, kind of just provide us that reassurance that we could be a great team. And another game, my junior year at Wesleyan in Connecticut, it was a Sweet 16 NCAA Tournament, just winning hard-fought battles and just really building the trust with each other and, again, just kind of reinforcing the work that we put in every day. It's so many different moments that I could go on and on, but it's those probably the most memorable. Another game against MIT here.
Yes.
Just solidifying everything that we've done. Putting on a perfect performance. That's what you play for.
We were up here. We were broadcasting that game at the time here on the Garnet Sports Network. We're up here laughing essentially at these threes that are going in. 13 straight to start the game. I've never seen anything like it. I probably won't for the rest of my life. That was something that put the country on notice. I said it during the game. I still believe it. That put the rest of the country on notice as to that this program was coming.
Yeah, I think the focus was there. Prior to that matchup, MIT was they were a tough opponent, and we knew we really wanted to win bad. And that was the last game I played on the home court. So, we just wanted to go out with a bang, and I think the focus was there, the trust was there. And it's great, we didn't know we were shooting that well that game. It was like afterwards, people were like, yo, that was like the best game I've ever seen. And, we look at the statistics, and it's like, wow, like we were really locked in. But that's just a characteristic of this group, and that hasn't changed as evident by the start this season.
Now take us up to Amherst, where you played the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 matchups. Yeah. Randolph-Macon, wow, what a game that was, start to finish. That was a battle inside and out. And Connor, the extra pass to the extra pass to the extra pass that led to Harkins hitting that big three.
Yeah.
But if you could walk us through that game in a whole.
Yeah, so to the fans watching, that play alone was probably the scariest moment I've ever had at Swarthmore playing here. Connor Harkins, I mean, the guy has ice in his veins, best shooter I've ever played with, and just had the wherewithal to knock it down at the most critical moment of our season at the time. But in terms of, reminiscing on the play, we threw it inside, I think, to Zach. He throws it back out, and we just swing the ball around like we practice. I mean, it's always making that next play. I didn't have an open look. I pass it. Ryan passes it, and Connor just caught it and knocked it in. I mean, it happened so fast. When you look at the replay, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I don't have words for it.
Yeah.
I don't have words for it. But, there's so many different moments like that, so many different plays that have defined this program, and I hope they continue to make them.
No doubt about it. For the fans out there, and I'm one of them that never will have an opportunity to play in a Final Four. What's that like? Fort Wayne, Indiana, a great barn to play something like that in. What was that experience like?
It was it's kind of the stage you've always, as a young player, I played basketball my whole life. As a young player, that's the stage you want to play on, that you dream to play on. And being able to have that experience with your teammates, your coaches, it's what you play for. And everybody was ready to seize that moment. Fortunately, we didn't get the result we wanted, but the experience was invaluable. And again, as you see the great start this season, it's made this team hungry, and they know that's their goal, to win the big one. And again, they're just carrying that momentum this season. It's great. It's great.
Cam Wiley is with us, 1,600-plus point scorer here at Swarthmore, one of the greats to ever do it here. So now you've graduated. What are you up to these days besides following Swarthmore basketball?
Besides following Swarthmore basketball. I'm starting my new gig at Allstate. I'm an Allstate agent in Covington, Georgia. And so I'm really proud to serve that community. A lot of great people in Covington, a lot of great people in Atlanta. If you're in Georgia, please contact the Wiley Wilson Agency. We sell life, home, and auto insurance and many more lines of business. Great service, and we provide great value. So, it's a really great opportunity to be with Allstate and serving an agent in Georgia. And I can't wait to get back home and get back to business.
That's good stuff. Well, I'm glad you took some time to come up here for the alumni game for this game, and to take some time for us here as well on the Garnet Sports Network. We're big fans of yours from calling you for 4 years, so happy to get you up here in the booth as well.
Thanks, Bob. And yeah, you've been great. It's great to listen to you back at home. And again, a great 4 years. Everyone knows your voice, so you're the guy. You're the guy.
Well,
sure.
I appreciate that. Everyone
Absolutely.
knows your shot as well. You're the guy as well.
Thanks, Bob.
We'll talk to you soon,
Awesome.
Cam Wiley with us here on the Garnet Sports Network. Just a few minutes until we get things started here in the second half.